everyone, and welcome to the final episode of Season 3 of I See Bad Movies. I'm one of your hosts, Dave Keane, and I'm joined by the surprising, bewildering, stunning, staggering Emma Spicer.
Hi.
Hello.
Surprising.
Well, that's my list of synonyms of the word amazing that I looked up because you were thinking recently that I've been very lax in my descriptive words of you.
That's true. So you actually wrote a speech.
Well, wrote a speech or
Memorised some words.
Googled some words literally just before we started recording. Which is still an improvement.
It's still some effort.
Some. And that's all we're really looking for in life, isn't it? Some effort from our friends.
Some effort, well done.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, some effort is better than no effort.
Exactly. Yeah. I think.
Which is what you've given for the last 5 weeks.
Maybe. So Emma, are you excited?
I am, because we know which movie we're watching tonight.
We do, indeed.
And it is one that we have seen before.
Yes. I'm hoping, because there's been a couple of the films that we've seen before.
Yes.
That we've reviewed again, and like Carousel.
One great, Carousel was amazing. It was better the second time because we got the extra scene.
Yeah, House Shark
was very
just
disappointing.
So painful.
I think we were in a bad place when we watched House Shark the first time, because I don't remember it being that awful. Do you?
Did you say I think we were in a bad place when we watched it?
I think it was lockdown and we were in a very dark place, and I thought it was quite funny, and then we watched it again and I was like, this is awful. Why are we watching this again? It was such a difficult watch, and it's so long.
It was a really, really difficult watch. Yeah.
But Carousel, amazing. The fact that we found, how did we even find the one with the extra scene?
I've got no idea. Or maybe,
watched it on YouTube or something?
I don't know if we did. I think we still watched it on Prime, but I wonder if we maybe just blocked that scene out of our minds.
No, we definitely hadn't seen it.
Yeah. No, to be fair, you're right, we hadn't seen it.
I would remember that sex scene if I'd have seen it. It was very memorable.
I mean, I
haven't stopped thinking about it since, David.
Oh, God.
Not in a good way.
I don't think you could think about that sex scene in a good way.
Just why?
I would question you if anyone has watched Carousel and you've maybe rewound it and rewatched that scene. I would question.
And please, if you haven't watched it, please just watch that scene because it's hilarious.
Yeah. Now, shall we actually talk about the movie we're going to watch?
That'd probably be a good idea. Yes.
Would you like to tell the listeners the name of the movie we're going to watch?
The name of the movie is Llamageddon, which I think is a great title.
It is. How many people do you think have thought about making that movie and were like, oh, Llamageddon, let's think of how making a movie about that, even before this was made, and they're like, no, it's too stupid an idea. It will never get made. That
doesn't normally stop people though, does it?
It doesn't, actually. Good point.
I don't think they would have topped it. I mean, I'm going from memory because I haven't watched it yet. But I don't think if they had have thought about making it, they probably wouldn't have imagined.
And how many people since it was made have thought, let's make a movie called Llamageddon, and then looked it up and been like, oh, damn, it already exists.
Like the see-through toaster.
I was sitting at home late at night once, right, just lying in bed and I couldn't sleep. And I thought to myself, and I was thinking about like, oh, what could you make a movie about that would be really stupid? And this is like a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, you could make a movie called Bonfire of the Manatees or something like that.
Yeah.
It's already a Simpsons episode.
Oh, okay.
I was really, really upset. And then another one time I was like, what if you had like a comedy sketch about, like a Nigerian prince who was actually trying to give away $27 million or however much, but no one ever believed them.
Yeah.
And it's like, I've got all this money to give away. Already been done. Michelin Web sketch. And I was so upset.
You just can't.
Because they were two golden ideas.
Well, should have thought of them earlier.
But no one has actually thought of Baywatch. My plan for...
Hold on, do you want to give this away on the podcast, or...?
Well, the thing is, it's recorded, and it's out there, that it's my idea, and this episode will be dated of when it was recorded, so, So like a friend of mine, this is so like we'll get talking about the movie in a minute.
Yeah.
Okay. But a friend of mine shared a book with me, right? I can't even remember. Don't even know what the book is called. Okay.
Yeah.
But so, once guilty of the deadly sin of gluttony, 1,000-year-old Viking vampire angel Knut Sigurdsson is now a lean, mean vampire devil fighting machine. His new side job? No biggie. Just ridding the world of a threat called ISIS, while keeping the evil Lucifier's demon vampires at bay. So when chef Andrea Stewart hires him to rescue her sister from a cult recruiting terrorists at a Montana dude ranch, Vanjo turns cowboy. Yeehaw. The too tempting mortal insists on accompanying him, surprising Knut with her bravery at every turn. But with terrorists stalking the ranch in demonoid form, Knut teletransports Andrea and himself out of danger, accidentally into the 10th century Norselands. Suddenly, they have to find their way back to the future to save her family and the world, and to satisfy their insatiable attraction. Now that's a book.
What?
It covers absolutely everything, right? And I'm not going to lie.
Are the evil vampires called Lucifires?
Yeah, because Lucifer, vampires.
Yeah, I get it, but
It's
that's awful.
It's dreadful, isn't it? So yeah, and I thought my idea for Beowatch, where you have the ancient Norse story of Beowulf and Baywatch mashed together, and you have like a Viking / lifeguard / private detective show. I thought that was amazing, but that's blown out of the water. So small detour, everyone. But this is the sort of thing that goes on in people's minds when they're writing up stories. Beowatch, I think, has legs.
Okay.
Could you imagine watching an ancient Viking wash up on the shores of LA and join the lifeguard?
I mean, it's never been done.
Has
it been done?
It's never been done. It's never been done.
In a movie, no.
And Beowatch.
Yeah.
What an... Oh, anyway, this is not us talking about Llamageddon.
Well, I know what we're doing with our retirement money now.
That's it, yeah. Oh yeah, everyone, we've made plans. We're spending all our retirement money making a bad movie.
We're not worth a cent at the moment, but come retirement day... We've both got pretty good pensions.
And you know what? It can't come soon enough.
We'll be like 80 before we get to retire the way it's going.
I know, but with the advancements in modern medicine, 80 will be the new 40.
Yeah. We can set everything in place. New hips, new knees.
We can rebuild you. We have the technology.
We can.
It'll be fine.
And AI will be taken over by then, so we'll just have new brains installed, everything, the works.
And I'm already
like
great.
$6 million man.
Well, maybe we could have AI write the script.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Why would we bother writing it?
Yeah, and I'm sure there'll be like some sort of AI video editor.
We'll probably just have glasses that we can just think thoughts and it will just type it out.
Whoa.
Or we just have a chip in our brain that we just go, right, send to David and I'll send you a script.
Whoa. Oh my God. There's a unicorn sex scene in this script, Emma. God. Ugh. And not a good one.
Not the good kind.
Isn't it? No, I'm not even going to go down there. Right, so Llamageddon is a 2015 movie.
Yes, it's fairly recent, isn't it?
Yeah, fairly. And the only thing you need to know about this: a killer llama from outer space crash lands on Earth and brings death and destruction to everyone in its path. But a lot more happens in this film. Right, so shall I toss the coin and we'll figure out if we're focusing on the good or the bad bits?
I hope we get good.
So do I. Right, let's see if I can catch the coin flip sound.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I'm hoping for good.
Oh, it's bad.
Oh, shit.
Oh, we're focusing on the bad bits of the movie.
That means the flip side episode will be really good.
Yeah, because there's
a lot of good stuff.
There's a lot of good stuff. And
from memory.
And I will just like to point out, this will be the end of season 3, so that will mean 18 whole episodes of the flip side on the Patreon.
Yeah.
Which is no small amount of money, no small amount of content
for money.
$5 a month.
Yeah. And we've got a couple of kids episodes on there.
Yeah, we've got a couple
now, have we?
It'll be 3 by this point. Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously we're going on to a new category next time as well.
Oh,
but I don't think we're quite decided what we're going to do.
Yeah, we haven't quite finalised it.
We've got some ideas.
We do have some ideas.
Yeah.
We do have some ideas.
And one that I'd forgotten about until about 5 minutes before we started recording, which I'm quite excited about now. I've remembered that.
Yeah, very much so. Right. Who's picking?
I think you're picking this week.
Okay, right. Let's pick the categories. Right. Oh, we have death.
Death. That's always a good
Excellent
one.
stuff. I love a good death. Oh, music.
Yeah, I think there's some good
Okay, music.
music in this one.
And we have best worst scene. Worst scene. I know. Oh, worst line.
Yeah, there's bound to be.
And finally, special effects.
Special effects.
Right. Well, we know what we're looking at. That's special effects, line, scene, music, and death. Emma, shall we go and watch Llamageddon?
It would be rude not to, David.
Welcome back, Emma.
Thanks.
We have just watched Llamageddon.
Haven't we?
And thank God it was only an hour and 9 minutes long.
It was, which I really appreciated because we've watched some long ones this
Oh,
season, haven't we?
yes, we have.
We're getting on for 2 hours. We're over. Did we do over 2 hours?
Well,
no, getting on for 2 hours.
Yeah, I think literally House Shark was just below the 2 hour mark.
Yeah, Snakes on a Plane was
And could have
an hour
been
45, but Snakes on a Plane was an absolute joy, so I don't
Yeah,
mind.
yeah, that
Didn't
hour and
feel
45
it
just
didn't feel
zipped
like that.
by.
Yeah.
But yeah, House Shark could have been an hour and 9 minutes long.
Yeah, it could have been half an hour. Let's be honest.
Could have been 5 minutes,
It
really.
could have never existed.
Everyone died to the House Shark, the end.
Yeah.
Bye. But we're going to talk about Llamageddon. Now, there were a few things that happened in this film that I really enjoyed,
Yeah.
right? But I know we're focused on the bad stuff.
Yes.
And the movie starts out, okay, with a cartoon.
Yes, it does. Yeah, I'd forgotten that actually.
Yeah, and it does this one or two times throughout
Yeah.
the rest of the movie as well. And it basically is an army of llamas on an alien planet
Yes.
marching to the spaceships
Yeah.
and being sent out across the universe.
And do you know why it started with a cartoon and there was a cartoon thrown in later on?
I don't quite know, Emma. Why is that?
Possibly because they didn't have the budget
All the llamas.
to do the special effects. Yeah. But it was quite a nice little touch actually, wasn't it? Because
Yeah,
it was different.
absolutely.
We haven't had that, I don't think, so far. In any
No,
other
I don't
movie.
think we've had any animation.
So it actually worked quite well with the film, I thought.
Yes, it
It
did.
kind of explained the story, didn't it? It kind of explained why
Yeah,
why
exactly.
this one particular llama was.
Yeah, that we don't just suddenly have a llama on planet Earth that's
Yeah.
got red glowing eyes. It
Yeah.
has been sent to
In
Earth.
laser beams.
Yeah, but the only thing I don't understand, in this cartoon, obviously, the llama that ends up on Earth, okay, was aiming for Earth anyway.
Yeah.
But during this cartoon, before the llama lands on Earth, it hits and destroys a satellite with an astronaut on it,
Yes, it does.
gets damaged, and crash lands somewhere
Yeah.
out in
In a field.
yeah. But where was it going originally?
No idea.
Where would one llama go?
And also, can we talk about this? I'm saying spaceship with air quotes.
Yes.
Because it was nothing like a spaceship that I know it's an alien spacecraft, but it was like a miniature version of, like the food huts you get at festivals and stuff, or like a little.
Yeah, it was an
type
animal
thing with
car.
wings.
Yeah, it was like something
Yeah.
you'd see like a horse in, but
Yeah.
smaller for a llama. Yeah.
Yeah, but with
Yeah.
wings coming out. each
And the
side.
wings were just like corrugated metal stuck on the
Yeah,
end.
It was bizarre.
They've obviously in somehow or other, because this movie had like a $3,000 budget, which I thought was insane
Yeah, that's crazy.
for what they've done.
Yeah.
And they've done a great job on $3,000. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, all the actors must have done it for free.
Oh,
on that budget,
yeah.
surely.
Yeah, they must have. Absolutely must
Yeah.
have. Because it started out as a student film, apparently. And
Oh,
then they all
okay.
got together and made it.
Yeah, yeah.
And then the $3,000 must have been just spent on the buckets of blood.
There was quite a lot of blood, yeah.
and maybe, employing someone on Fiverr to do the animation.
Well, I know something else it might have been spent on, but I don't want to spoil it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
For the end, yeah.
Yeah. That's probably half the budget.
Yeah.
Because it was that good. Yeah.
Yeah.
But 100%. We will get
Yeah.
there. No spoiling. So yeah, that's the thing. It landed on Earth in a spaceship of some kind,
Yeah.
in inverted commas.
It wasn't very spaceshipy.
No, it wasn't. No, absolutely.
You're right, it is like one of those animal carriers that they sort of attach to the back of a car, and you see horses going down the motorway, don't you, with like in these little boxes and their heads are poking out. It was like that, with wings.
With wings. So therefore, it was
It's a spacecraft.
a spacecraft. And the way the spacecraft looked, actually, I think comes up, I can't remember if it's a good line or a bad line, but I noted it down. Someone talks about it.
Oh, okay.
Later. I think it might be a bad line, but yeah, or a bad scene. I've written it down anyway, and we'll talk about it again. Now, it's landed in some sort of field, and it makes its way towards a farmhouse.
Yes.
And like an old, not
So
even
I
an
assumed
old
it was
couple.
on their land, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm assuming it was their land.
Yeah, they're not very old. Well, I was thinking they were sort of late 40s, maybe early 50s, but then...
At most, yeah.
But apparently not, according to
Yeah.
their family.
So it turns out that these are the grandparents of our main characters.
Who are what, 18, 19 or a bit older?
If that. And
if that.
Well, I mean, I imagine it's the usual trick of, older people playing younger,
Yeah.
but it's
In the
basically
movie,
older playing teens.
Yeah, sort of late teens, weren't
Late
they?
teens, yeah.
So they didn't look old enough to have grandchildren that age, did they?
Well, no, they really didn't, because the mum looked in her 40s as well.
So they must have started extremely young.
Yeah, I mean, it's entirely possible.
It happens,
It
but yeah,
happens.
so they didn't look like grandparents. But yeah, basically they just go to bed one night, don't they?
Well, I think they're coming home from shopping or something, because they're getting stuff out the car.
Yes.
And they spot the llama, and they're like, "Hey, when do we get a llama?" or something like that.
Yeah.
And they kind of ignore it, go to bed.
Don't notice the glowing red eyes, though.
No one notices the glowing red eyes.
And then they weirdly go to bed. They're sort of sitting on the edge of the bed, taking their shoes off, which I just thought was really odd because I've never worn my shoes up to my bedroom and then taken them off when I'm getting ready for bed. I take my shoes
That
off
really
when I
got
come
you,
in.
didn't it?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever worn my shoes
Upstairs.
right up until the
bed.
point I'm going to sleep.
No.
But I'm trying to think back. Have I ever sat down in bed, taken my shoes off, and then gotten into bed?
Yeah. I think even if I've been out somewhere, I come in, I take my shoes off, and then go upstairs. It was just bizarre anyway. So they go to bed, and then.
Oh yeah, because literally, it's like they're taking their shoes off and they just climb in.
Yeah.
I don't even really see them doing anything else.
Yeah, you don't see them like brush their teeth, have a shower, get changed, anything. It's just kind of.
But if we did see that, we're getting into the realms of house shark territory where there's just so much unnecessary feather.
But they go to sleep, and then the llama somehow gets into the house, doesn't it?
Oh, I imagine the llama is a master at getting into anywhere and doing anything at once.
It's quite good with its hooves,
Oh,
like karate chopping and stuff. So maybe it's.
Oh, if only we were using a visual medium for this, for you to see that.
It's
There
like
were actions.
Kung Fu llama.
Yeah, it was a kung fu llama.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
I
it
still don't
was.
know how that would hold a hoof would hold a key and get in, but maybe it did some karate stuff on the door, and then just got in. Oh no, it's got laser beam eyes. Of course, it can just burn down the door, can't it?
But the door wasn't burnt down.
Oh no, it wasn't. Was it?
The door wasn't burnt down. I think the llama just has some special powers that called the plot that allows it to do these things and just
It was
get
in
the
the
movie
script.
on. Yeah, it's in the script that the llama's now in the house. But I don't even know how they die. The llama
We don't
just
see it, do we? So we see the shadow of the llama, and then it sort of cuts away, and you just see blood splattered on the photo frame that's on the,
it.
like chest of drawers.
And I was really worried at that point that I thought, because I know we'd seen it before,
Yeah,
but was it going to be,
remember.
are we not going to see an actual death? Is it going to be one of those things?
It was terrible for that. Birdemic didn't show anything really.
People
did
just
it?
died and
Yeah, you
screen.
did see wounds and you saw a bit of acid at one point, but you didn't see the actual death.
a bit of acid at some point.
Well, you did see like a bucket of acid, like in front of people. But this was the first death, and you didn't see it.
Yeah.
But then it didn't disappoint after that.
It did have me worried though.
Yeah.
Oh no, what's going to happen?
It made up for it. It was fine.
It did.
They're just teasing
right.
you.
They were.
Luring you in. And then, bam, it was in with the action. Well, we had a bit of gump in the middle, didn't we? So then you shoot to the family in the car. So it's a mum and 2 teenage kids who are the main characters.
And they've just had the funeral for Gran and Grandad. Yep.
They make some comment about the dad not coming, and they're like, "Oh, it's not his parents. It's not his grandparents, is it?"
No, I think it. Oh yeah, no, that's right. Yeah, no, he didn't. Yeah, they say something like dad didn't turn up, and then the mum says, "Well, he didn't even turn up to his own mum and dad's funeral or something like that."
Oh, okay.
But we do cut to their dad.
We do cut to dad later on. We'll talk about that.
I think we cut to him at that point.
Oh, was it at that point?
Yeah, because they're going on about him, and they cut to him, and he's having sex with someone about a third of his age.
It was worrying.
Maybe a quarter of his age.
Definitely, at least in his 50s, isn't he?
Oh, he's
Maybe
older.
60s.
He looks older than the grandparents that just died.
He's even older than us.
Oh my God. I hope you mean ages together.
Yeah, our combined age.
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
No, he's pretty old. He's late 50s, maybe 60s, I'd say. Maybe, I don't know, 50s or 60s. He is... Well, I didn't really see her very well at first, but later on when we see her, she looks no older than 15. Like, it was worryingly young.
She's like a real sort of little pixie little girl, isn't she?
I know this isn't real, like I'm getting concerned,
of course.
This is a real relationship, but it seemed a really odd casting because it just felt really uncomfortable, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
So basically he's in bed with this woman having sex, but the camera angles and the faces, I'm sorry, but it made me feel ill.
They have a lot of, and this happens a lot, extreme close-ups on faces. And
weird angles. For the
very, very strange angles.
They'll shoot from like almost not the floor, but like they'll shoot upwards so that you get someone's face looking down at the camera, and it's just a really odd shot, isn't it? To get somebody at that weird angle.
And I think it's made even stranger because he's lying down on the bed and you've got this weird angle. But the most disturbing part of it is the noises he's making.
Yeah, he's making some weird noises.
I mean, it's like... I'm not going to lie, at that point I stopped taking notes again.
Yeah.
You'll be glad to know, women of the world. But yeah, that was some strange stuff going on. But it's like a Family Guy cutaway, isn't it? They talk about him and then they cut away to show him doing something stupid, and then they come back to our main people in the car. Now our main people are Floyd, who's one of the writers and directors of the film, and his sister Mel, who they're going to their grandparents' house, and they're being left there by their mum, and I don't know why.
They didn't really explain why they were staying there and the mum was going off, did they?
No, none at all.
There was no reason for them to be there. I mean, obviously, if somebody dies, you have to go and...
Yeah, I imagine it was a house clearance.
They weren't doing that, were they? They were just...
Yeah, they turned up.
You wouldn't leave 2 teenagers to do that, would you? You'd do it yourself.
Think you would.
2 teenagers aren't going to get anything done.
No, they're going to get nothing done. And they don't get anything done because Mel, instantly, when left alone, starts calling up all their friends.
There's a really weird montage of her just cuts to each phone call, doesn't it? She's just like, come to my party, come to my party. Like, but it's like they keep cutting.
Yep.
Like, it's really disjointed, isn't it? Like,
it's hi Tammy, hi Jeff, hi John, hi Rob. And then it's just, it's a very cut. Very odd. Now, so Mel's arranging a party, but we also get to see Floyd walking around. And Floyd is, shall we say... Geeky. A
virgin.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not that makes you geeky, but they make a thing of that.
They make a big thing of it.
He's a geek. He's not very popular
and very socially awkward.
Very awkward.
As well.
Yeah.
And
very awkward.
Clearly see that Mel has good times just poking fun at her weird, awkward brother.
Yes.
And it doesn't take long, does it? Because the next thing we know, the party started.
Yes.
And everyone's there. There's no messing around.
Oh yeah, it's just straight into the party.
Straight into things. You've got your usual sort of people at a party. There's some people in the kitchen. They are playing beer pong.
Yeah.
You've got people in the lounge who are smoking.
But that's really
bongs.
because they're playing strip beer pong, aren't they?
Well, I don't know if they are.
Well, they have to take their pants down.
But I think that was like a forfeit, and I don't know if this is an actual thing because I've never played beer pong in college in America, but they get it in the absolute centre cup, and they say that was the pussy cup or something like that. Like it was because it's the easiest one to get it in.
Yeah.
And then they start chanting at this fella to take his pants down, his trousers down, because he got it in that particular cup. And I think it was just because it was a forfeit because he got it in that one.
Oh, okay.
I know, it was very odd. It was very odd.
Weird.
Yeah. But he does take him down. So they're doing their thing in the beer pong. You've got the druggies in the lounge smoking pot.
Yeah. And
Mel is flitting in between the party.
She's in the kitchen, isn't she, with Dan?
She's with a lot of different people. She's chopping and changing because at one point she's with a woman, just chatting away. Then the next thing is this fella, Dan, who's in and out. He seems to go between the pot smokers in the lounge and the kitchen with Mel and the beer pong players. Then. But I think Mel says, because Floyd is being really awkward and trying to get people to use coasters and look after the place. Bearing in mind, we haven't had anything happen with the llama yet again.
No, not yet. So
Mel decides I think she says to Dan to try and loosen Floyd up and get him to start.
Is this the bit where she says get him chatting to that girl that's there?
Yeah, because she's planned to get someone there to take his virginity so he can chill out as well.
Yeah.
Which is a whole thing. It's a whole thing. Yeah. Very, very strange sort of process. But it's at this point as well that we have another friend turning up. And listen, if this sounds like confusing with the different people, we're literally just introduced to loads of people instantly, and it took me.
We don't know names. We know Dan. We know that he's called Dan, but the rest of them we don't know their names, do we?
Yeah.
They're just people.
They are. Yeah, they are just people at the party. They are just there or they're not
people
there.
There to die.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they can have a few deaths. They've just got a few people there.
That's exactly it. And I got really confused at when the party was happening because I was trying to think, who is this person? And I think we even looked up the cast list, and you were like, this is a mess. I can't even figure out who's who. So we found it. I don't know about you, but I found it really difficult putting a name to someone.
Yeah.
You're right. We had Dan. And
Dan, we knew Dan's name. We know.
We knew Dan because Dan has an interesting character trait.
Yes.
Pretty much every time the camera comes back to Dan, he's wearing a different t-shirt.
Yes.
Every single time.
Yeah.
And I was reading, apparently he changes t-shirt 23 times or something like that in the film, which is the equivalent of a costume change every 3 minutes for the film. Which is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well played, Tim. But
don't know what the point of it was. Yeah, we don't know what the point of it was. It was very deliberate, but we don't know whose idea.
And it wasn't subtle changes.
Oh no, it was completely different.
It was a completely different shirt. At one point, he ended up wearing a Star Trek
like a
uniform.
Color. Yeah.
Yeah. Literally like he was out of the USS Enterprise.
Yeah.
It was very strange. Very strange indeed. We do get our first party death though, outside of the party.
Yeah.
So a guest is turning up, one of Mel's friends.
Yes, I think it's probably like her best friend or something, isn't it? She's on the phone to her.
They're texting away.
Texting, not,
And when they're texting away, I found it quite funny because Mel was reading the texts off of
the screen,
the screen out in the middle of the air.
They were popping up on the screen for us to read, and she was looking at them rather than her phone.
Which I quite liked. I thought that was clever.
Yeah, it was a nice little touch.
It was funny. But she meets the llama.
Well, she's just driving into the farm,
Yes.
isn't she? And going to, I think she's quite close to the house, isn't she?
Yeah, she's not a million miles away.
Sort of about to park up, and then the llama's just literally in her headlights.
Blocking the path.
Yeah, blocking the path. And it doesn't take long, does it, at all? It's literally it's again, the inconsistency with all of these movies where she's pretty much just laser beam eyes.
Yeah.
Shoots at the car.
car
and it
explodes
like it's just on fire.
Straight on fire. But she burns to death in the car.
So she burns to death in the car, but then there's other times when the llama's just kind of lurking about, not doing anything. You just think, you could kill them instantly. Like, why are you lurking about, not killing anyone?
And what's even strange about that is other people that because the laser beams go and hit her in the car, but the car explodes and goes on fire.
Yes.
And when I say explode, it's like, letting off a single firework kind of explosion. But then other people get hit by laser eyes later, and they fully explode.
It's literally like nothing left.
But they explode, and then there's like buckets of blood flying everywhere.
Yeah, but there's nothing of them left, is there?
And it's the inconsistencies again with this. Was it because maybe something refracted through the glass of the car windscreen?
Yeah, I don't know.
I doubt it very much.
I doubt they thought about it that deeply.
I'm probably thinking, exactly. I was thinking too deeply. I was just about to say that. So she dies, and she never makes it to the party.
Do they even make any reference to her dying, the people in the party? I don't think they
Well, the only reference you get is a text message going, and that's it.
Oh, I missed that.
It was right at the bottom. And that was the one trouble with these text messages, because they were just too difficult to read. Yeah. And they were having a conversation, and they were disappearing off the screen too quickly to read. But when she was burning to death in the car, I did spot the as the very last text message she sent. But Mel just disregards it and just thinks, she'll be here when she gets here.
Yeah.
And of course, never does.
No.
Now, at this point though, Floyd is now sitting with the stoners, playing drinking games and so on, and getting particularly drunk on beer. Really, really disgustingly, because he keeps vomiting the beer up.
It's just like water, isn't it? It's not.
Yeah, he's taking a drink of the beer and then he's just basically spitting it back out like vomit, and no. I mean, I just don't want to keep seeing someone spitting beer out, fizzy beer everywhere.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know, have you ever watched It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
Yes, I have, but I've not watched all of it.
So there was one scene with Danny DeVito, right? And this is a physical. This is something he physically does, right?
Yeah.
He drinks a beer, okay, and like in the shot, he actually regurgitates it and foams it out of his mouth, and it was like that. Like behind the scenes, everyone was like, "How the hell did you do that?" And he's just like, "Ugh."
What does he do with it?
Sorry?
What does he do with it?
He just, don't know. He just literally foams it up out of his mouth and it goes everywhere. It's...
Just say regurgitates again.
Oh, did you want me to say regurgitate? Why?
I don't know, it just sounded funny in your accent.
He just, is that funny in my accent? Regurgitate?
Yeah, it's the R, I think.
Regurgitate.
Yeah, so that's gross.
Yeah, but and that's the kind of sort of thing that's happening with Floyd, and I just don't want to see it in close up.
No, it is gross. It is grim.
I mean, that's the one thing that annoys me about these low budget movies. They always put something that's completely gross out in.
Yeah.
Why?
I think they're going for humour, but it never comes across. It's just grim.
Yeah.
It doesn't come across. I mean, House Shark was awful for it.
It was
really like, just 14-year-old boys kind of mucking about humour. It was grim, some of it.
Yeah, one of the trivia points about this movie is that it's 69 minutes long, just like the trivia point says the movie's 69 minutes long, and that just suits the humour of the movie.
Yeah.
But I would argue this movie isn't so much of a...
It's not as...
stupid comedy.
No.
It's just people having a daft laugh with the premise of what it is.
Yeah.
There are a few sort of like, moments.
This movie isn't trying to be anything other than what it is. I don't think it's trying to be a good movie. Definitely watched bad movies that you think, I think they believe this is actually quite good.
Yeah.
But this one knows what it is, I think, and it's
it
not
embraces
to be anything else. It embraces the fact that it's low budget. It's a ridiculous storyline. I think it does really embrace that. It doesn't try to be something it's not. Mm-hmm. So if you take it for what it is, then it's actually okay to watch. It's not a bad watch.
Yeah.
You take it for what it is, but the humour. The humour's always a bit dodgy in these movies, I find. It's always a little bit like...
I feel like if you were smoking as much pot as the people in the movie,
yeah,
it'd be up there with like Anchorman.
Yeah, it might
something
land,
like
but,
that.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you're a pair of sensible movie reviewers
Mature,
like us,
yeah.
mature, got kids, hold down good jobs.
Take ourselves very seriously.
Then it doesn't land the same.
No.
It doesn't land the same. So yeah, that's happening. He's having these drinking games. Now, one of the stoners heads outside for some reason and sees the llama.
We know why he goes outside. Do we just go
No,
outside?
I think he's just outside. Yeah. No, he goes outside for
a wee.
For a wee. Yeah.
Surely there's a toilet in the house.
No. Yes, there is.
Maybe someone's in the toilet. It's a party. There's people there.
I've missed a bit.
Okay.
Yeah, I've jumped. It's not the stoner. So are people playing beer pong?
Yeah.
They're playing beer pong, and the opposite guy gets it in the same cup as the last guy and has to take his trousers down. And one of them says, "Oh, let's see what you've got," and takes his trousers down. And
they zoom in on his crotch as well.
Yeah, because
we don't need to see what he's got.
we don't need to see a little bulge in his boxers. Thank you very much. It's just not something we need to see. But the guy on the opposite team says something that makes it seem like he's been cheating on.
Yes, he does.
His girlfriend he's been sleeping with the guy who's just taken his trousers down.
Yeah,
so it doesn't really matter.
Because we don't know names, but
the nobody.
And she's just kind of like, oh, just don't worry about it, forget about it kind of thing.
Yeah, that's it.
As if you can just brush it off and go, oh yeah, okay, she said don't worry about it, so it's fine.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
And ultimately, he goes out.
Well, he waddles.
He waddles out.
So it's really funny. I was like, why is he walking like that? And you're like, well, he's got his trousers.
He's got his trousers around his ankles.
I totally forgot that. So he kind of waddles out of the room, which is really funny.
That's it. Yeah. So he waddles out the room. She follows him, and he goes out into the garden.
Yeah.
And the llama. I can't remember how does the. Oh, that's right. He sees the llama, and he goes up to the llama and goes to like pet it.
Yeah.
No, he goes to give it. He goes to give it like a joint, a smoke off of a joint. The llama smokes it and blows out the smoke, but then bites his fingers off.
Yes.
And he turns around, and his girlfriend comes out and sees his fingers bitten off.
Yeah.
And then the llama. I'm not going to go into too much about this because I want to talk about this.
Yeah, we've got deaths.
I want to talk about this in deaths. But the llama punches through his chest, and this shocks the girlfriend. He dies. And then the llama punches her to death on the floor with his little kung fu hooves. Kung hooves.
Kung hooves.
And so that's 3 people now dead.
Yeah.
Well, technically 5 with the grandparents. But this is one person at the party arriving. Now 2 people at the party are dead.
Yeah.
Now, because the llama hasn't blown them up with these laser eyes, we then see the llama we don't see the llama dragging them away, but we see them getting dragged off screen. So the llama's obviously hiding the bodies for some reason.
Yeah, why?
Fine, whatever. Now, we have a new person turn up at the party.
Yeah.
Trent.
Yeah.
Who is Mel's new boyfriend.
Yeah.
Trent arrives and he comes into the party and he's obviously a real bad boy.
He's made it clear that is he talking to one of his friends on the phone on the way and he's like, I'm just here to get laid kind of thing?
Yeah, pretty much.
So he's deliberately gone to this party just to get laid and he's not interested in anything else, I don't think, is he? He kind of walks straight in and he's straight over to Mel.
Yeah, that's right. Straight over to Mel.
Yeah.
And basically takes her into the bathroom.
Yeah.
That's why the bathroom is now full up.
Oh, okay.
And our stoner guy goes out into the garden, has a wee, sees the llama, and gets frightened by the llama, and runs back in the house and tries to warn everyone like there's something weird going on with that llama out there. But everyone just thinks he's like hallucinating, and like that's it. So they ignore him.
Yeah.
Now, what happens then? I
Is
think
that when they cut to so Mel and her boyfriend are in one bedroom and
they're in the bathroom,
the girl
and
he's been chatting to in
yeah,
another.
the stoners all kind of separate off because they're gonna. Yeah, they all sort of separate off, and then Floyd and I can't remember the girl's name. Was it Sarah?
I can't remember.
I honestly can't remember. They go off, and she's gonna take his virginity and make a man of him.
Yeah.
So we have two kind of weird scenes, but Trent and Mel, their scene ends because he's got nude pics being sent to him from another woman.
A photo pops up on his phone as they're sort of getting it on, and I thought it was just a picture of one boob.
Yeah.
I might be wrong.
Oh, I think it was a boob pic. Yeah, it was a boob pic.
You only
That's
saw
right.
sort of a glimpse of it, didn't you? You didn't see it.
Oh yeah, it's not like a gratuitous shot.
But yeah, so she's like, "Why have you got a picture of something? Like, why is a girl sending these sorts of pictures?" And then you just kind of see the brother. I think you don't see a sex scene, but afterwards he's
Yes. Yeah, because they're lying in bed together, and he's like, "Oh, I gotta get up," and he literally sits up and he goes, "I'm a man now."
Yeah. Yeah.
But he doesn't really act like a man through the rest of it. It's like he's still finding his feet.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he has only just been deflowered.
Yeah. So. Deflowered.
Oh, that's an interesting choice of words. Anyway. Now, it's at this point that everyone sort of figures out that there's a hot tub.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, the hot tub, yeah.
And so they're all getting into this hot tub. Well, not everyone.
Quite a few of them are in there,
yeah,
aren't they?
pretty much everyone else at the party is in the hot tub, apart from
Trent,
Mel, Floyd, Sarah, Dan.
Yeah.
And there's also two other random women who aren't in the hot tub either. So you've got two of the stoners and then two people that I don't really recognize. No, the other people from the beer pong.
Oh yeah.
They're in there. The other two people from the beer pong are in there.
Yeah.
So they get in the hot tub and they're enjoying their little hot tub session. And then the llama turns up.
Yeah, so we have to say though that they have got a little radio playing.
Yes, they have.
So they've got a radio plugged into the wall and they're playing the radio while they're in the hot tub. And then the llama turns up. And what does he do, David?
Well, as we all know, radios and hot tubs do not mix.
No.
So the llama throws the radio to the hot tub. Yeah. One of the stoners catches it and goes, "Whoa, don't worry everyone, I caught it."
Yeah.
But then the llama punches him and he drops the radio. Why even do that bit? Why not just...
I think they're just trying to get little laughs in there, aren't they?
Yeah, I suppose. So the radio drops in and that's it. Everybody gets fried in the hot tub.
Electricity going all through the water.
Oh, and you can see. Oh, yeah, and they're all.
You can see it's literally like
dancing away.
Electricity, like little waves of blue lines.
And it was actually, I thought it was really well done.
Did you?
The blue lines, not the people like jerking away.
No, not the people.
That must have been really awkward. That must have been really painful. Just them all jerking
it just
away.
reminded me of another scene that we missed out earlier on.
Oh, have we?
Mel and Dan are dancing in the kitchen.
Oh, yeah, because I want to talk about...
okay.
Yeah. I want to talk about that.
Yeah.
And why they're dancing in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we will come to that.
Yeah.
I know I've probably missed all lots of other little bits, but I know
we'll come
some of these things we're definitely covering anyway. But yes, that was...
So this
that's
scene
hilarious.
goes on for quite a long time, doesn't it, in the hot tub?
It does.
You get a few shots of them in the hot tub, just all kind of jolting about and being electrocuted.
Now, what I can't remember is this. Dan comes in.
Yeah.
It's either Dan comes in, sees them all electrocuted, and then goes and tells Mel and Trent, who are having their argument.
Yeah.
And then two more people come in and are like, "Oh, great, a hot tub. Oh, everyone's dancing away," and get in the hot tub.
Don't they?
And get instantly electrocuted. Or if it's the other way round, they are in the hot tub.
I think they get in when everyone's still jolting about. They don't get in when people are dead, do they?
It's after Dan. Dan comes in after that. Is that right?
I think so.
Is that right? I think so.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. But yeah. Okay. So maybe that? I can't remember which way it happens.
It's not that important, is it? So
it's not that
basically,
important.
all the people in the
right.
hot tub obviously die. They get electrocuted, and then so you've got Dan, Mel, Trent,
Dan,
Floyd,
Floyd,
the girl he
and
was
Sarah.
lost his virginity to.
That's it.
That's it left, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So they then decide to. They've got no signal.
Oh, they're trying to call the police, aren't
Yes,
they?
they try to call the police.
We need to call
no
police,
signal on their mobiles.
Get help. Yeah.
Because of the location.
She picks up the landline phone, which nobody under.
No, they've got no idea, and that's my thing. They've got no idea how to use it as well. If I remember right in the film, they have to how do you use it? And Floyd comes to the rescue.
If anyone's listening to this that is younger than 30, probably won't know what a landline is.
It's the mad thing, isn't it? We've all got one. When was the last time you actually used your landline phone?
I have one that I haven't used for about maybe 3 or 4 years.
Yep. I remember, oh God, I remember years ago getting the first sort of digital handheld landline phone that you could walk around the house with wasn't plugged into it.
Well, it was plugged in, but if you take it off the base,
you could just take it off the base and walk around the house with it. No more wire trailing, no more stuck near the bloody telephone line.
Yeah.
And being amazed at this one can store 250 messages.
Yeah.
And this one can do this. It's
even the scam callers don't call me on the landline anymore. I used to get scam calls on it.
All just mobile, yeah.
But they're just all on my mobile now. Just call me up on the mobile, trying to scam me out of my money or sell me things or.
It's just the least needed thing in the house.
Yeah.
I only need the telephone line for the internet, and even then, my internet comes through a cable, and so is my telephone. That's it. It's not a normal telephone line. Oh, technology.
It's not like the old days.
Not like the old days. This isn't even the thing. Is the landline they use in the film isn't even a dial phone.
No,
it's still a button press phone, which.
So you could work that out. Yeah.
You could easily work it out, but I think it takes Floyd being a man to work it out. But we find out that the line's been cut anyway. So the llama has thought
ahead. His laser eyes straight through that cable.
Or his kung fu.
Yeah.
Kung fu hooves. Sorry. Anyway, They
can't call for help when they go outside, don't they?
Yeah, they go outside, and that's it. And 2 people decide to make a run for it. Oh no, this is the 2 people from the beer pong. They're still alive at this point. Okay. They didn't get in the hot tub, sorry.
Right.
The 2 people from the beer pong, so they all leave the house and then the llama's in front of them.
Yes.
And they all freak out. 2 people decide to run.
Yeah.
And the llama shoots them with laser beams.
Obliterates them, they're just gone. They're just
gone. Absolutely destroyed. And although they're quite away from the house, they get absolutely covered in blood.
Yeah.
It's like buckets and buckets of this stuff hitting them. We also have Trent gets sort of green stuff puked up on him from the llama as well, and collapses onto the ground.
Yeah.
Everyone else makes a run for it, and there's a whole thing go on where they're off on a run. And this is where I get confused with the rest of the movie. So I don't know if I'm going to be.
There's a girl at some point.
Yeah, there is a girl who comes out of the house just randomly.
She's stoned or drunk, and she's.
Yeah.
Oh, what does she
we
say?
do see her really early in the film, just absolutely obliterated, and she passes out on the floor. But she comes to. After everyone's run.
I'm pretty tired.
Yeah.
She said something similar to what Forrest Gump says when he goes running and he stops.
Yeah.
He's I'm pretty tired. I think I'll go home now. She says something very similar to that. So I was like, have they just ripped that off from Forrest Gump? Because it was almost exactly the line.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I can't remember the exact line. I'm pretty tired.
I wrote it down. We'll see when we get to lines.
I know I didn't lay it down. But she leaves the house as well. After everyone's gone, Trent isn't even there on the floor anymore, and we'll tell you why in a minute. But yeah, she comes out the house, the llama's there, and then, we don't know what happens to her, because then it's just literally a shot from inside the house, looking out through the glass of the door, and it's just buckets of blood being thrown at the door.
Yes.
And that's the end of her as well.
Yeah.
So, very, very quick death, splattered.
Yeah.
Trent, meanwhile, He's undergoing a bit of a transformation, isn't he, Emma?
Yeah.
He's run off to a little bit of the field somewhere.
Yeah.
And what's happening to him, Emma?
Well, had the green goo of the llama, and he's now turned into a llama.
Yeah, he's turned into human
really,
slash...
really badly. So you know, like have you seen District 9? Have you seen that movie?
Yes, love it.
So you know, so he's turned into one of the prawns. They call them the prawns, don't they?
Yeah, fucking prawns.
Yeah, the prawns.
Love it.
It starts with like his nails coming off, doesn't it? And his teeth get loose. And then he
gets the big eye.
He gets an infected hand, and then he ends up in hospital. And when he takes his bandages off, he's got the big claw. But it's done really well. It looks quite good.
It's brilliant, yeah.
So think of that. Think of the polar opposite of that. So this is literally, at one point, they have just got some fur, like just real cheap, nasty fur, and I think it was held on with elastic bands around his arm.
Yeah, it was either elastic bands or some sort of cable holding it on.
So literally it's just like a big bit of fluff, whatever it was, just held onto his arm by either elastic bands or cable ties. And then he sort of gets a lump come out of his back, doesn't he, at one point?
Yes, yeah.
One of the funniest things about this
And he gets the red eyes.
Oh yes, he gets the red eyes as well. And then later on, as we go on, he sort of starts getting more and more, like he gets the ears and he gets like more and more things.
But how does he, when does he get the ears and his transformation go a little bit further? How does that happen? Can you remember?
Is it when he's not, oh no.
It's another cartoon.
Oh yes,
we get another
cartoon
of this happening.
It's another cartoon again because I don't think they could do the special effects.
Yeah.
But it actually works quite well. It doesn't.
It does.
It doesn't seem out of place.
It really doesn't.
I think it helped they did the cartoon in the beginning because then you're not like, oh, what's this? You do get that in movies. So I went to see Dora with the kids a few years ago.
Yeah,
when it came out, and they take some mushrooms or something at one point, and they do like they cut to a little cartoony bit. I know it's a kids' film, but they do something where they hallucinate.
I'm imagining they take mushrooms by accident.
By accident, yeah. And then they hallucinate, and then they cut to like a little cartoon.
Yeah.
And there's a bit where the explorer guy that they're with runs off. He takes his clothes off and he runs off into the distance. And obviously they couldn't do that live action because it's a grown man.
Yeah,
you see his bum, and obviously the kids find it hilarious. But they had to do it as a cartoon because it was like you can't have a grown man running off with his bare bum in a kids movie.
Excellent.
So they do it like that, and it actually works quite well. So you do see it; it does happen.
Yeah.
In movies, and I think it does fit here. It does work.
Right.
But yeah, so you see him, so he gets like the ears, and he turns more into a llama. But the thing that made me laugh most about him turning into a llama, he's really tall and lanky, like he's really tall and slim. So when he's going around on all fours, it just looks so funny.
It's so awkward looking,
it's just gangly and awkward, and it's like But then I guess the llama has got long legs, but it was like it just looked weird. I think it would have looked better on a character that wasn't so tall. So there's one point where they're running across the field, and he's trying to run on all fours.
That's right. He's trying to run and follow them, isn't he?
Hilarious.
It's really quite mad because now he's with them now as well. I don't quite know how he meets up with them.
Am I jumping ahead, or because they can't get hold of the police? She calls her dad.
Yeah, they do eventually get some signal and get in touch with the dad, and that's when we see him with the really young, 15-year-old. Yeah,
I'm not exaggerating there, am I? She was
a very young looking. I mean, if
a girl, she looked like a girl.
Yeah,
she
did.
Like a woman.
If she was even in her 20s, she was a very young looking 20-year-old.
Yeah, because I kind of saw her and went, he's old enough to be her dad, and then I was like, no, he's old enough to be her granddad.
Old enough to be a great granddad, almost.
Right, don't exaggerate.
That's not real. That's a little bit of hyperbole. Fine, a little bit, but yeah. That's right. They do get in touch with the dad, but he's not there yet. He does turn up. He does
jump in the car and drive it, but obviously he's got to get there. I don't know how far away he is.
Yeah.
So he's got to get out of bed with his child bride and drive there. So he's a little while turning up. So in the meantime, they're running away from the llama through the fields, aren't they? Is that right?
Yes. And there's all sorts of things going on.
At one point, they're like, we're going to have to leave you here. They say to Trent, we have to leave you here, otherwise it won't stop chasing us. And he's like, no, take me with you, because obviously he's terrified of what this llama might do to him. And then that's when they separate, and then the llama does do stuff to him, which I'm not sure I can talk about.
Yeah, what does the llama do to him?
What do you think it does to him? See it, but we know what happens because later on.
Oh yeah, of course.
So there's a bit of sexual assault goes on, which we don't see, luckily.
Yeah, thank God.
Do we hear noises or was it just cut away? I can't remember.
If we did hear noises, I think I have blanked them out of my memory entirely.
It insinuates something happens, but we don't see anything.
Yeah.
I can't remember how they insinuate though that it happens. But yeah, so
the llama just kind of stares at him seductively with his red eyes.
He gives him the look, and then so he's kind of like, "Oh shit,
yes,
what's going to happen now?"
Yeah,
and then do we see him in the barn next, or is there more stuff going on with the other guys?
Well, I think there's more stuff going on with them. Sarah they get chased a little bit by the thingy, but Sarah gets left behind. This is just before the Trent assault. Sarah falls over, twists an ankle or something, and gets blown up.
And wants Floyd to save her.
Well, Floyd wants to save her, but I think she's like, leave me, just leave me.
Oh, I thought it was the other way around.
And he's like, no, I'm not leaving you. Because he's doing the manly thing.
Yeah.
And fails.
Been deflowered by her, as you put it.
Love a bit of deflowering.
I don't know what to say to that.
Anyway, moving on swiftly. You have Sarah gets blown up by Llama, and now it's just Mel, Dan, and Floyd. They find the spaceship.
Oh yeah, the spaceship. You have to do that in air quotes.
Of course, absolutely. They find the spaceship, they investigate it, and it must be a spaceship. And they're like, well, it doesn't look anything I've ever seen, so it's got to be a spaceship. But Dan finds a space stick.
Can we talk about the space stick?
Yeah, we can. The
space stick.
You got to be very. I mean, you have to be really clear what this looks like, Emma.
So this is a baseball bat wrapped in foil.
But it looks like a baseball bat that's been wrapped in lots of foil.
Yeah.
Because it's really exaggerated size.
Do you think?
Well, in terms of width.
Yeah, they're quite
baseball
long.
Bats
they're long.
They're long, but they're thinnish.
I guess they're thin, yeah.
But this is
quite chunky.
Captain Caveman type baseball bat.
Club.
Yeah. Do you remember Captain Caveman?
Yeah.
Captain Cave. Anyway, no, we're not going back to the 80s. But sorry, I know you look so disappointed, Emma, and I know the listeners.
I'll get the conversation round to it at some point.
I know the listeners are disappointed, but yeah, it looks like a club, and he keeps it with him, and he thinks this is going to be handy. But that's when the next thing we see now is Trent in a barn, screaming and crying. I don't even want to talk about this scene. Do you want to cover your ears for a minute, and I'll just tell people what happens? We are going to talk
about this scene in more detail when we do scenes.
Yes. So,
but just
very, very quickly for you, Emma, cover your ears. Okay. So, Trent gives birth to a number of llama eggs.
Yeah, eggs, not live young eggs.
But we know that they're definitely llama eggs because they're furry.
They're just grim.
And they're egg shaped, of course. Now, so that happens. Then we have the dad turn up, and the dad starts investigating the barn. He's got a shotgun with him.
He's got his gun, yeah.
He's got his gun. He's investigating. I think he hears the cries coming from the barn, and he heads towards the barn, and he finds all these eggs and Trent's a mess.
Oh, Trent is struggling, yeah.
Trent is like...
He's in a lot of pain.
Well, I mean, he's even like, kill me.
Yeah, he does ask to be killed, which, to be fair, I would be if I was doing that as well.
And he killed, and to be fair, the Mel and Floyd's dad does just instantly shoot him in the head. Yeah. He's like, yeah, son, you've had enough. Yeah. You've had enough. That's the end of Trent. But one of the eggs hatch.
Immediately, yeah.
I mean, it's so fast. So fast. And there's what I thought was the cutest little llama with red eyes.
Well, even though it's...
I mean, even though I know it's murderous, I'd have, but it's like, it would have imprinted on him. I mean, I know how llama births, especially out of eggs, work. That llama would have imprinted on the dad, and if you're there for the birth of all of them, you'd have had your own loyal killer llamas. You could have taken over the world.
You've always got the fear that they'll spit on you and then you turn into a llama.
Well, them's the breaks, Yeah. You've still got an army of killer llamas. Space llamas.
Space llamas, yeah.
Llamas in space! But the dad does then take out, bang, 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 takes out all of the eggs.
Yeah.
Now, we then come back to R3.
They are now by the big combine harvester machine, aren't they?
Yes.
Is that a combine harvester?
Yeah, it is. We've seen a combine harvester a few times in the film.
Yeah.
Oh no, the dad has a fight with the llama in the barn.
Does he?
Yeah, the dad has a fight with the llama in the barn and
Oh, yeah.
loses.
It's awful.
Gets beaten up and...
Yeah, because you just see the llama legs and then you just see him going, oh, like moving his arms up to kind of defend himself.
And then the llama takes a big bite out of his neck.
Yes.
And down he goes. And we think that's it for Dad.
We think he's dead, yeah.
That's it. Dad's dead. We then have just our final three, Dan, Floyd and Mel. Mm-hmm. And the llama's there. And Dan gives a great big speech. I want to talk about this later. I can't remember if it's going to be in this episode or on the flip side, but I'm going to talk about it. Dan gives a great big speech and goes to fight the llama. And like he uses the space bat and he bats away the laser beam from the llama. But then...
But did it not just burn straight through the bat though?
But it's a space bat.
Oh, of course.
Or space stick,
it's got foil
as
on
they
it.
call it.
It would reflect.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we all know the wonders of tinfoil.
Yeah.
It keeps the government from hearing your thoughts.
Yeah.
And
you can travel to the moon with a tinfoil rocket.
Yeah, you could probably, wrap some carbon fibre in tinfoil and go and visit the Titanic.
Oh, we're going there, are we?
Yeah, we're going there. I don't think
it's
there's
been a few weeks.
Well, I mean, maybe we won't actually go to the Titanic in a tinfoil wrapped carbon fibre. Yeah.
Let's not go in an experimental submersible, what they call it?
Yeah, that was it.
Is that it?
Yeah.
So let's not do that.
Let's not do that. No.
Even if this podcast takes off and we are billionaires overnight,
this time next year,
with any silly ideas like that, because that'll be a hard no.
It's a hard no. But Emma, what you don't realise is by the time that happens, just imagine the advancements in modern tinfoil technology.
They've got the technologies to do it. Apparently, they have
got the tinfoil. They have got the tinfoil to do it. No, they've got the technology to do it.
There's not enough tinfoil in the world.
They've had submarines go down to it.
Yes,
it's just not like this.
Experiment and do it on the cheap, I think. Didn't he?
He did do it on the cheap. Yeah,
which is not something you don't do it on the cheap.
Because they've done it like 4 or 5 times before.
Yeah, had they done it in that one?
Yes,
it got weaker and weaker.
And it got weaker and weaker with each trip until the inevitable happened.
Didn't he sack the guy that gave him the advice and said, this isn't safe?
Yes.
We shouldn't be doing this.
Yeah.
He got sacked.
That's right.
And I think a couple other people were like, oh, I don't think this is actually...
And I think it was just
from a physics point of view, this isn't going to work.
Yeah, I think it was just literally hubris that was like, well, it's worked before, so it's going to keep working. And well, I mean, those are like little stress fractures on your carbon fibre. Maybe you want to get that seen to... Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know if there were any stress fractures visible or anything. I'll take that back just in case there's any lawyers listening and want to get litigious with me.
We don't actually know any details on this, but we just know that it was a crazy idea.
It was a very crazy idea. And
it's madness that anyone got on that thing.
Yeah, 100%.
Absolute madness. When they were going down there, they had a little tiny window and they were mainly watching it on a screen. Yeah. Which you can do in your living room. Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you could probably have controlled something by a drone to go down and
you've got some awesome footage of the Titanic on YouTube.
I mean, you've got some amazing footage of the Titanic.
Like...
In the movie.
In the movie, yeah. Well, they...
Just see that.
Cameron went down loads of times, didn't he? Yeah. To get that footage.
Is it Bill Paxton who's in it? Who's in the movie?
Sure.
I saw a clip of a documentary of him going down.
Yeah.
In a submersible thing. And the look on his face with every creak and groan of the vessel is one of sheer panic.
Yeah.
Is it Bill Paxton? Yeah, I think it's Bill Paxton.
I'm not sure.
The one who's like, he's in the modern day part of the Titanic. Yeah. One of those guys.
I think I know who you mean.
Yeah, I'm sure it's Bill Paxton. Yeah, or Bill Pullman. Familiar. I always get Bill Paxton and Bill Pullman mixed up.
I mean, we could just look it up.
I could look it up. Anyway.
But I'm still not going to.
I'm still not going to. I think I will. But anyway, while I'm looking that up, Dan gets destroyed by the llama and things are not looking good for Mel and Floyd.
But hey, they're our main characters, so we know they're going to survive.
Exactly. We know they're going to survive.
So at this point, we think Dad's dead. They're screwed. Everyone else is dead.
Yes.
You've got Floyd, who's a complete idiot.
Uh-huh.
And you've got Mel, who's got a bit of a clue, but it's still just down to 2 of them, and this llama has successfully killed everybody else. So you're going to be thinking, there's no way we're surviving this.
No, absolutely. But surprise, surprise, Dad starts up the combine harvester.
Yeah, he's not dead.
He's not dead.
Even though he would be bleeding to death from the neck.
Oh, yeah.
He's not dead. He's just got like a really weird wound, which looks like...
It does look kind of like a bite.
Yeah, but it's kind of like raised and quite clearly just stuck on, and it's really raised.
Yeah.
Whereas if someone took a bite, surely there'd be bits missing, not a big raised bit.
Yeah.
It's quite clearly...
But also, have you ever seen a llama bite?
I've never seen an alien llama bite either.
So we just don't know.
We don't know.
We just don't know.
Yeah,
no, you're absolutely right. There would be chunks gone, not a raised, I know.
Yeah.
And yeah, the dad runs the llama over with the combine harvester, and he gets out, he's dying, and Floyd's like, how did you know that would work? And the dad says, in my experience, anything in a combine harvester is going to get killed.
I think I actually write that line down.
Oh no!
But we'll talk about it in lines.
We will talk about it more in lines. And that's how the movie ends. The movie ends with the dad dying and the 2 kids just looking up to the sky.
Yeah.
And that's it.
No, that's not it, David.
No, you're right. It's not it.
But we'll talk about that.
But we'll talk about that. We have the end credits, and there is a song that plays over the end credits that we are gonna absolutely just love talking about. But is it on the flip side for you? Because it's a good song.
Oh yeah, that's on the flip side, definitely.
It is, isn't it? Because it's amazing.
But also, weirdly, while the credits are rolling, you get like a little inset, like little square, and they play the entire movie like sped up, don't they? Mm-hmm. So while you're seeing all the credits come down on the right hand side, on the left, you're just getting the whole movie.
So we have technically watched the movie 4 times.
Yeah.
It's like we've seen that whole movie 4 times. And do you know what was really disturbing? Where they're doing like the time lapse of the show of the film, all of the weird facial close-ups all flash up on the screen really quickly, one after the other. And it was just like, ugh. Yeah, I did not need to see that again.
That was another thing I really didn't like.
And yeah, so we've technically seen this film 4 times.
Poor us.
I know. But also not poor us, because it wasn't that bad.
It wasn't
that bad.
House Shark.
No, it wasn't.
It was okay.
But neither was it a Carousel.
No, it wasn't a Carousel. It wasn't a House Shark. It was somewhere in the middle, but at least it wasn't 2 hours long.
Exactly.
I was quite glad that it was...
It absolutely flew by.
Yeah.
It flew by. It really
Apart
did.
from at the end, I felt like it dragged a little bit at the end. We were both like, shouldn't it be finished by now?
Yeah, I must admit, because when we got to the bit where everyone had died in the hot tub, and I was talking about it in the synopsis there,
yeah,
I felt like, the movie, the end of the movie can't be that far away. But actually, a lot actually happened after the hot tub as well.
Yeah.
But the good thing is they didn't drag their heels. Like, they killed off a load of people in the hot tub.
We did discuss whether there could be a Llamageddon 2, and we decided not, because whereas with like House Shark and Carousel, you just saw there was a living baby.
Yes.
Well, this one, the dad shot all of the baby llamas, so there's no... Although he did get pregnant somehow as a male.
Yeah, there was...
There was nothing to carry on unless more llamas came down from space, which, why would they come down from space?
Exactly. They've all gone to other planets.
Yeah, so that we don't think there can be a sequel to this, do we?
Yeah, I don't think there could be. There was nothing left open for a sequel, that's the main thing. But however, after the movie, we did find out that I don't know if it was successful, the crowdfunding, but they've raised something like $2,500 in British pounds.
Yeah.
For the people that made this movie, have raised just over $2,000 for a new movie called Alpacalypse.
Yeah,
which
this is a really funny title.
It's brilliant, and I hope they do make it. I really do hope they make it.
Well, they only cost them $3,000 to make Llamageddon, so hopefully,
and they've got a cast of people that I imagine would come back
again, yeah.
But I don't know if it's going to be a sequel.
I mean, and who knows the difference between an alpaca and a llama? They can just use the same footage of the llama.
Yeah, absolutely. And there was like an FAQ on the crowdfunder as well that was like, I can't remember the llama's name. It's like,
Louis.
will Louis
the
the
llama.
llama, will Louis the llama make a reappearance? And they were like, you just have to wait and see, because our llama was played by Louis the llama.
Yeah. And I'm sure there'd be people going, well, yes, actually, an alpaca is blah, blah, blah. And a llama.
Oh, yeah.
Would you be able to tell? I don't know what's a llama and what's an alpaca.
Alpacas actually come from a particular
They're
region of
native
Chile, and llamas are a sub-Saharan species. I honestly have no idea.
No.
But, yeah. But you know what? Llamas are neither venomous nor poisonous.
But also, space llamas and space alpacas, who knows? They could look exactly the same for all we know.
What if space llamas and space alpacas are mortal enemies?
Yeah.
And that's why, and the llamas are dwindling, so they've sent, you've heard it here first, this is the story of Alpacalypse.
You need to get a cut of the profits if you're going to write this.
Yeah. So they've sent the llamas out to all the other worlds to turn people into
llamas
and produce eggs and grow the llama army against the alpacas. And it's going to be the alpacalypse of the alpacas because of all the llamas that have been born, the space llamas. You've heard it here first. I've made it up, but that's going to be the plot.
But take that as gospel.
Yeah, take it. If it's not that, right into the movie makers and demand a refund.
Why it isn't that?
Yeah, that's why. That's why. Right, do we want to focus on our categories now?
I think we should probably.
So we had obviously our 5 categories were lines, special effects, scene, death, and music. And we'll focus on the bad part. I have got something for everything.
Yeah, so have I.
What do you want to start with, though?
Shall we do scene first?
Yeah, can do. Can do. What did you think was the worst scene?
Okay, I've got 2.
Yeah, okay.
It was not really one scene, but they just kept doing all these close-ups of people's mouths, just the mouth.
Yeah.
And every single one of them would do weird things with their tongues. So there was a lot of like sticking their tongues out and wiggling them.
Yeah.
But there was also like licking their teeth and licking their lips, and it just gave me the creeps. It made me cringe so bad. I don't know what it was, but I just didn't like it at all. And they did it a few times. I was like,
it was
why?
disgusting.
It just it was too much.
The worst culprit of it was when you had Mel and Trent in the bathroom getting sexy.
Yes.
You had Floyd and Sarah in the bedroom.
Yeah, and it was like the tongue thing. They kept doing
all sorts of weird things going on.
Yeah, they kept doing like guys just like wiggling their tongues about really quickly, and it was just like, oh, I don't know. I've just put in my notes, they were all trying to be sexy, and I've just put all the tongue action. Just couldn't deal with it. It was just grim.
Oh dear.
So that was just, I didn't like that. That made me feel uncomfortable. Didn't like it at all. But the worst scene of any movie ever of all time.
Okay.
This is the worst scene I've ever seen in anything. It has to be Trent laying the llama eggs.
Oh,
because it was, I don't describe it. So he's in a barn. He is screaming and moaning in pain, obviously, because he's laying these quite big eggs.
Yeah.
I mean, probably about as big as a newborn baby, and he is a man, so I don't know where these eggs are coming from. We didn't ask any questions.
Who knows what that green goo's done? Who knows what that green goo's done? But let's set the scene a little bit as well, because the actor is sitting in kind of like a raised thing that's covered in hay. And he's got these fake alpaca legs spread out in front. Sorry, llama legs. Apologies.
Alpaca lips.
Actually, David, I think you'll find
they're llamas. Space llamas. So
with these llama legs spread out in front of him.
Yeah. So hang on a minute. So he's laying an egg.
Yeah.
But he's sat on.
Yeah.
That wouldn't work, would it?
It's kind of being pushed out.
I guess he's kind of sat like maybe at an angle. But so we don't know. Yeah, we don't know how it's changed his biology so that he can have eggs. But anyway, so there's lots of moaning and groaning because obviously he's in a lot of pain. Mm-hmm. These eggs are huge. And you see the egg kind of emerge from, you don't see, it's not grotesque, is it? Like you don't see,
it's not like you're seeing.
You just see the egg being like coming out of the hay kind of thing. It's not, you don't see his body.
Well, the thing is, there's kind of like whatever film material they're using for the llama that it's turned into, they've basically just got a cut in the material and the eggs are coming out through the cut in the material.
Yeah, so you don't see anything grotesque. But it was just, I can't explain it well enough to, I think it was just the whole thing, it was the whole idea of it, and it was, it was just stressful. I don't know, I just found it stressful, but I also just thought, why have you written this into the script? Why do we need to see it? And he laid about, how many eggs, you counted them, didn't you? It was about 10 eggs or something.
9. There were 9 eggs in total.
There were 9 eggs, so it just kept going and kept going. And it was just difficult to watch. And I just was like, there's no need for this.
Yeah. And we didn't, to be fair, we didn't see him lay 9 eggs.
No,
we watched him lay about 5 or 6. But it was just felt, fine, we get it, he's laying eggs.
Yeah, you don't need to show us more than one, really.
You know, how often does something that lay eggs only lay 1 egg? You could have him lay 1 egg, and then, there are 9 eggs in total.
Yeah.
Great, fine. But I think it was his screaming over the top of it that was...
Yeah, it was just, I don't know, I just found it really uncomfortable to watch. I just didn't like it at all. And
that's
I was like, this is just grim. So yeah, that's the worst scene I've ever watched in anything ever, I think. That's how bad it was.
I do have a couple of bad
scenes. Points
scenes
down for this.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's going to lose some points for this.
Oh, ouch. Well, I mean, if it is the worst scene you've ever seen, then I understand entirely. It does make my bad scenes kind of pale in comparison.
Oh, okay. What did you have?
I've got two bad scenes. So, you know how I love a montage?
Of course, yeah.
Okay, I've always loved a montage. But the montage we have in this movie, that we've mentioned before, is the montage of Mel calling tens and tens of different people. And it's just the awful cuts, and it's the awful little bits of like dialect thrown in, as the awful little bit of like dialogue thrown in. Thank you. Where there's like she calls up one like this is close to the absolute litany of names that she comes out with: Jeff, John, Sue, Sarah, blah 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 blah. Yay! Hey, hi Matt, hi Jeff, hi John. Constantly, and it's cut in between, right? But then really close to the end as well, she's like, oh, hi Carla. Oh, what, you're with Sue? Oh, have her fill you in. And it's, just stop. Just please stop. Why not just have one phone call? Hi, we're having a party. This is the address. Tell everyone. Ta-da.
And it was also the way they cut it, wasn't it? It was just like really choppy.
There must have been about 20 or 30 people that is named easily.
Yeah.
But there's not that many people that turn up.
No, there isn't.
So
but then isn't that always the way? You invite 50 people, 10 people turn up. Isn't it? Like, most people go, yeah.
Emma, I don't know about your parties, but people always turn up at mine.
How many parties have you had that I haven't been invited
to? Awkward. This is awkward. Oh dear. Oh. No. You're cordially invited to every party I ever have.
Which is... No.
0. 0. I'm not cool enough for parties. But yeah, that was terrible. But it's, for me, the worst scene. I just realised in my notes, I've actually described it as Floyd's deflowering as well.
Oh, okay.
I did put it in my notes.
What's the thing here?
So Floyd having his virginity taken by Sarah is just awful. And what really gets it for me, because it does kind of cross over with Bad Line a little bit as well, is because he's this really socially awkward little wallflower, trying to do the right thing, making people do coasters, trying to stop people from doing drugs, etc., etc. And that's all fine, It's fair. He's trying to look after his grandparents' house, right? They have just had the funeral for them. But it then goes into this really awful kind of thing where they're lying down together, and then he just kind of gets up and is like, I'm a man now.
Yeah.
But then doesn't actually proceed to act like a man for the rest, whatever your assumption of what a man would be in this movie.
I can guarantee that sex, if that was real, if they were real people, that sex would have been like... Have you seen The In-Betweeners?
Oh, yeah.
Will from The In-Betweeners when he first has sex, and he's literally just like...
Stiff as a board. As well, I mean. Not in a good way.
Like his whole body. And then he says something to her about, I've just lost my virginity, and she was like, I'm not going to count that. And you just imagine that the sex would have been that shit.
Yeah.
Because it's Floyd. And he's a bit of an umpty.
And there's one point as well where one of the stoners kind of opens up the door and Sarah is behind Floyd on his knees and she's kind of doing the rodeo sort of thing as well. It's like...
It's just...
Yeah. It certainly wasn't as inventive a scene as we had in Carousel. Let's put it that way. But we don't have a magic talking unicorn here, so it's not going to be inventive. But yeah, it was dreadful. It was really bad. So yeah, that was my worst scenes. What would you like to talk about now?
Should we do deaths?
Deaths? Yeah, can do. So we have talked about this already for me.
Yeah.
I've got one terrible death.
Okay.
But it's actually involving a lot of people. So...
Oh, okay, yeah, I think we've got the same one. I've got another one.
Oh, okay.
So I thought the first death was shit because we didn't see it. So the couple, the grandparents.
The grandparents, yeah.
So you literally, you see the llama's shadow and then you just see... I think they notice the llama, don't they? And then it just pans away and then you just see blood spatter on the photo frame on the... I think it's a chest of drawers in the bedroom. So I thought that was shit because you don't see it.
Yeah,
so
you don't.
It's like, you can't count a good death if you don't see it.
100%. If you don't show a death, instantly it gets voted down for me.
Yeah.
Just, you're showing other deaths, show these ones.
Yeah.
You know, it's only an hour and 9 minutes long. You've got plenty of time to have 30 seconds of them maybe being pummeled to death.
It made up for that later on.
Yeah, it does.
Deaths, but if
Absolutely.
you can show the deaths, then why would you not show all of them?
Yeah.
So I thought that was bad. And then my other one was the hot tub. Is that the one you had? Or?
So, is yours the actual hot tub?
So when they're all dying in the hot tub.
Okay, yeah. So mine's is after the hot tub.
Oh, okay.
When the two people get in. So yours is the actual hot tub.
Oh, you've got the two people getting in?
Yeah. Because
okay.
I think I know why. So if you want to talk about why you think the hot tub one is so bad.
Just because I actually thought the special effects weren't that great. I know you did like them. And it just goes on and on for what felt like hours. And it was just too... I know we like a good drawn out death, but it was too drawn out for me.
Yeah, I'd understand a really drawn out death of actual stuff happening.
Yes, but this is just them like...
jerking around.
Jerking in the
and you can see them trying to stop themselves from laughing as they're doing it. Yeah.
And also it killed off a lot of characters at once and we quite like to see the deaths and you've just wiped out a load of them.
That's why it's an hour and 9 minutes.
Well, yeah.
It's because so many people die in one fell swoop. Yeah. And in a way, I appreciate that, you know, getting to a high body count quickly.
In a way, you kind of think, because we have complained in the past that, well, he's got a load of people there, or they've, like Piranha or something like that, they've got loads of people there and they don't kill them all.
Yeah.
And we've moaned about that, so they can't win, can they?
They can't win, no.
We're not happy either way.
But that's our prerogative to nitpick.
We're allowed to change our minds as well.
Exactly, we are indeed. It's our podcast, our rules. Now, my worst death is once everyone is dead in the hot tub, the electricity's still going, and they're still jerking around, but two people come in late to the hot tub. Two women come in late to the hot tub. One of the stoners and one woman that Mel was talking to in the kitchen, and they are like, hey everyone, you're all like
you can quite clearly
dancing
see
away or whatever.
Lines of electricity.
Yeah, you can see electricity sparking.
Jolting about.
Yeah.
Like, it's quite clear that everyone's been electrocuted to death.
But does that stop them?
No. They still just jump in.
They just stand up, they put the shot is literally them, the two of them putting their feet down into the tub and then instantly being electrocuted. They fall backwards and as they fall, unplug the radio as they land on the cable, land on a wire, it pulls the plug out and stops the electricity. Yeah. But it was just like, fine, you've already killed off a load of people. Now you're throwing in a really sort of cheap double death as well. And it's not even murdered by the llama, it's just death by their own stupidity.
Yeah. It's Yeah, that's true. Actually, it's not even the electrocution's caused by the llama, but they see it happening and choose to step into the hot tub still. It's ridiculous.
And then it makes me worry because I've got 2 kids going off to university.
Yeah.
Are they going off smart enough to know that if they're at a party with a hot tub and there's electricity sparking, people being electrocuted, would they be smart enough at a hot tub party to know not to go in the water?
Well, you'd hope so, but you also do see these crazy young YouTubers doing things like cementing their heads into microwaves and stuff. And you're like, doesn't matter how much work I do as a parent.
Watch me hit this wasp with hornets.
They'll do it, yeah. It's just like, okay.
Do it for the vein. Do it for the vein. Yeah, so I thought that was absolutely my worst death because I felt like we were stolen a couple of llama deaths because of that. Yeah. All right, so that's our deaths. Okay. Now, I think, do you want to leave line for last? Because I've got quite a lot of bad lines. Yeah. So we've got either special effects or music.
You do special effects?
Yeah, can do. Do you know, I actually only have one bad special effect.
I've got loads of bad special effects.
Have you really? I quite enjoyed the special effects of this film.
One?
So after they're all outside the house and those 2 people have run off and they've just been exploded by the llama.
Yeah.
And they've all just been covered in blood.
Yeah.
And at that point they all start vomiting and I'm being really sickened by it. But the worst part for me is when Trent bends over to vomit.
Yep.
And it's just like a stream of liquid. It's
water.
water. Yeah.
There's nothing more to it.
Yeah. But it's literally just, and it's really badly done. And yes, I know that there's a $3,000 budget on this movie. But
you can see the pipe behind him.
You can see the pipe behind him and the water just gushing out this pipe onto the floor.
Yeah.
And his head is moving because he's pretending to vomit, but this pipe isn't.
Yeah. So you see, it's really badly done.
If you can't do it on the budget you've got, just don't do it.
Yeah.
Just don't do it.
Yeah. Or even, you could put, and I think I heard this somewhere, that this is something that people sometimes use on TV and movies. You could put like cold soup or something in your mouth.
Yeah.
And then just spit it out.
Yeah, vegetable soup.
It kind of looks like sick.
Yeah.
So they can use things like that as well. I mean, that wouldn't be the most pleasant thing, but that would be more realistic than just having a hose pipe of water.
Exactly.
Out.
And look, I don't have emetophobia, right? But neither do I want to watch people being sick.
No.
And it's not.
It's not a pleasant experience.
It's not a pleasant thing at all. So yeah. That was my absolute worst special effect.
I thought also when the drunk girl goes out of the door and then you don't see her death, you just see the blood splattered on the door.
Yeah.
That is literally, again, a hose pipe, but it's red
water.
It's nothing like blood at all.
And it's got it looks bitty as well.
Yeah, but it's like someone is spraying the door with a hose pipe. That looked awful. It's just like, literally put red paint in a hose pipe and just...
Yeah, and really watered down red paint.
Yeah, that was really bad. And then also the girl that turns up in the car who's texting Mel.
Yes.
When the llama burns her car, it's just there's kind of an explosion, and then there's just these really crap looking flames clearly not on, the car's not on fire. It's clearly flames put over the top,
Yeah.
Laid over the top. That looked really bad as well. And my last one's not really a special effect, but it could have been a special effect.
Oh, okay, go on.
So when Trent's turned into the llama and they've just strapped on fur around his arms and stuff with rubber bands, they could have done a really good special effect. I know they didn't have the budget, they had $3,000. Yeah. But that was an opportunity where you could have done some awesome CGI or special effects or something.
So I don't know if you've ever seen this, but there's an old, I think it's in the 70s, and it's like a werewolf movie. But it's a really low budget werewolf movie where it shows you the transformation. Yeah. And it's just it's the same. It's a guy, and it's like they just superimpose the next shot over.
Oh, okay.
And he's just suddenly getting more and more hair on him, and it's amazingly bad. Yeah. But they could have done even something like that. Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, just hair on him or. But yeah,
I guess
no,
you've got
it's
to know
just.
how to do these things as well. Like if you don't know how to
But
do any kind of special effects.
but they show that they know how to use PowerPoint really well.
Oh, there's some brilliant moments of.
I mean, there was like a circle that came up
there's
to
a transition.
transition
early
from one
on,
scene to another, which
and
is a
it is
circle.
literally like PowerPoint.
But if you've done that, right, you could really really easily have shot after shot after shot, and then just a slow fade out while the other one's coming in.
Yeah.
With video editing, I've never done it, but I've edited video, and I know I could. I would understand how I could do it using an effect of fading it in, and the scenes just overlaying each other. I could see how I could do it in my head.
Yeah, they kind of got around it with the cartoon, didn't they? But then the bits they did show of him, just really shit. Like the costume that they, the costume or whatever it was.
Yeah, it was literally
could have
just
been better done.
like a rug cut up.
Yeah, just
like some sort of furry rug.
Literally wrapped around his arm with like elastic bands or something. It was that bad.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it really was actually. But on the whole though, I thought a lot of the special effects were quite good for the budget.
Yeah, some of the other stuff was.
And I know it might sound nitpicky, but even on a low budget, there's still things that they could have done to make Trent's transformation look better.
Yeah.
And I mean the flames as well. They were really clearly
not on the car. The car was not on fire. Yeah.
And it's a really daft thing to like see it like that, and it's just like, oh no, that doesn't look good. I know exactly what you mean.
It was a bit Birdemic-y, where it was just like the birds were just
the superimposed on.
Yeah, it was, but really badly, like clip art, really badly done.
It really was. But yeah, I don't have anything else bad for special effects.
No.
Okie dokie. So music.
Okay, so music.
It's real peaks and troughs for this film.
Yeah,
isn't
when
it?
we
Troughs.
first see the llama, it was just like, I don't know if it was a guitar, just like someone kind of plucking a guitar with no sort of real tune to it, and it was really annoying, and it went on, and it was really boring.
I've got the exact same one down.
Yeah.
Exact same one down. But I think it was like, when, like, I don't know if you ever had, like, music class, but when I had music class back in the old days in school, we all had a little keyboard in front of us, and we were supposed to, learn songs in increasing difficulty, etc.
Yeah.
But if you were me, you spent the whole day just going, the whole lesson just going, what does synth number 1 sound like?
Yeah.
That's what I did. And that's what it sounded like. It sounded like the guitar setting on a keyboard.
It was just
bing,
annoying.
bing, bing, bing. And then it maybe changed note. Ding, 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 ding.
It was so irritating.
It was really, really jarring. And I had the same one down, because this was the lead up to the death of the grandparents, wasn't it? When you first see the llama, that's when the music starts. And it's almost like they're trying to do a little bit of, what's the one for Halloween? It's like they're trying to get, the Michael Myers. It's like they're trying to do a little bit of a music like that for him. Oh, why can't I think of the Michael Myers music? I mean, once you hear it, you go, oh, that's Halloween.
Yeah.
But it's like they were trying to do something like that, but it was just, it just didn't have any actual,
it was just annoying.
brains behind it.
Yeah.
It was like, this sounds spooky. Bing, 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 boom,
It
boom.
didn't sound spooky. It just sounded fucking annoying.
That was what their thoughts. That was their thoughts, but it just definitely did not turn out that way.
Yeah, no, it didn't come across like
Definitely
that.
didn't.
I also had the saxophone at the party.
Oh, did you?
There was like, did you have that in your good?
I've got that as a good scene.
What, them dancing?
Yeah, I've got that as amazing.
That went on forever. Okay, we won't talk about that because you're going to talk about it.
No, it's okay. It's okay. You can talk about it. Because if it's bad music,
it was just long and boring. It just went on for ages, and they did this really bizarre dance as well when this saxophone music was on.
I loved that.
And I've also got one more which I need to say and then run away and hide.
Oh, okay.
And you know why, David. And this is when the podcast ends, everyone.
So we're going to have a brief intermission where I talk to Emma about the xenophobia between England and Scotland and how it will never get better whilst people like Emma are picking on a traditional instrument used by the Scots. But Emma, please, go ahead.
So in this movie, I can't remember what point it is, but at some point, is it the funeral or?
I think it is the funeral, yeah.
There's bagpipes playing, and I was like, oh God, bagpipes, and you were just like, you looked at me like you're going to kill me. Yeah.
I still might.
That'll probably be in your best music.
Ouch. I mean, look, there's one thing mocking the bagpipes just because they're bagpipes. But it's another thing for assuming that because I'm Scottish, I'm instantly going to love everything bagpipes.
You do though, don't you?
I mean, they are an amazing instrument.
Do you think?
Yeah. Haunting sound over the glens and the... No? Okay, fine. But yeah, they were... I thought they were great. I think they're good. But do you know, like, I can't remember if it's rednecks or hillbillies.
Yeah.
Okay. I think it's hillbillies originate from
What's
Scottish
the difference?
people. I think it's literally just where they're from.
Oh, okay.
I'm not 100% certain on it. But hillbillies come from, and I can't remember, it's either rednecks or hillbillies, but they originate from Scottish people moving over to America because of Bonnie Prince Billy and all that sort of thing. I think that's why it's the hillbillies. Could be the rednecks because we tan badly with our Celtic skin, but that's what I was thinking. Are they trying to say that the grandparents are like hillbillies? But I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting a little bit of a fact out there about Scottish people.
Yeah.
And how any of your thoughts about hillbillies? I don't know. But yeah, it's one, like they either come from Scotland. One of the two, rednecks or hillbillies. But yeah, there you go. There's a little fact for you.
A little fun fact.
Or originate from Scotland, I should say. But yeah, this is the last ever episode.
Yeah, it's been fun while it lasted.
It's been fun, yeah. And how lucky we ended on the end of a season as well.
I know, perfect.
Like it's wrapped up lovely.
Yeah.
But like a Netflix season.
And we'll never speak again.
We end on the third season and that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Never done. Oh, but that's just how racist Emma actually is.
I mean, it's only against you. No, everybody else is safe.
And I suppose it's not racist, is it?
No, it's not racist to not like
Scottish people.
bagpipes.
Well, the bagpipes are just a metaphor for Scottish people, aren't they?
No.
They're just like windbags that never shut up.
Oh yeah. True.
Wait, actually, it's just me.
Just you.
It's not Scottish people. It's just
You're
me.
the only Scottish person I know. I'll just say that. So yeah, it's just you.
Am I the only Scottish person you know, or is it because you've alienated?
I've killed all the others.
Oh my god! I was just like going with alienated, but killed. Oh jeez. Okay, fine. Anyway, shall we move on? Because now I'm kind of scared. Shall we start talking about bad lines?
Yes.
All right. I actually have 1, 2, 3 bad lines for this film.
I think I've got 3 as well.
Oh, look at us. Matchy. So...
Oh no, I've got 4.
Oh.
Sorry, we're not matchy.
Oh, what a shame. Anyway, moving on. So there's one set of people I haven't spoken about.
Oh, okay.
The government get involved.
Do they?
Yeah. So we see the spaceship surrounded by scientists.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this is completely disconnected from the rest of the film, and it wasn't even worth mentioning the synopsis because they don't do anything, nothing happens with it.
Okay.
But a guy turns up in a helicopter. Okay?
Yes.
Absolutely no idea who it is, what it is, but we just know it's a government person. And he gets out of a helicopter, okay, walks up, looks at the spaceship,
Yep.
takes off his sunglasses, and in the worst bit of acting of being amazed and surprised at something you've never seen before, goes, "My God." And that's it.
That's it. That's all he says.
That's all he says.
To it.
And it's pointless.
Yeah.
It's completely pointless. It doesn't do anything. The government does nothing. I'm speechless as to why they even bothered putting it in the film.
Well, yeah, you'd think that you'd give a character much more of a reaction than just,
Yeah.
my God.
And that's it.
It was a bit weird. Yeah.
It was very strange. That was one of my bad lines. What's one of yours?
One of mine was when she's phoning around her friends, Mel's phoning around her friends to say, come to my party. And to one of them, she just goes, who cares if your dad died? Come to my party.
Oh, yeah.
What?
I forgot to... I'm glad I didn't mention that, because I completely forgot about that line when I was talking about the bad scene. But yes.
Again, it's just like pointless, really bad taste. Like, what? Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, we hate Mel. She's no Helen, but Mel's a bit of a cow.
She's annoying.
Yeah, she really is.
But yeah. And then I also had, when the guy goes for a wee...
Oh, aye.
He pulls down his flies and then he goes... I was like, does anyone ever say that when they're having a wee?
I can honestly tell you, I have never had a wee feel good. I just had a wee.
The only thing I think is because he's been drinking.
If you're really busting for a wee, you might be like, oh, that's a relief. But never have I gone...
It was more the way he said it, I think, because it was almost like someone started giving him a massage or something.
Yeah.
It was just like a really weird way that he said it, like it was really pleasurable having a wee.
That is exactly it. It's like, you've had a really rough day and someone starts, that was the perfect, absolutely perfect.
I just thought it was really odd.
Yeah.
So it's more the way he said it rather than the line, But
yeah, I can honestly tell you now, I don't think I know any man, and if you're a man and you're listening, let us know, but have you ever had a wee? You don't have to go into the details about the wee, just in case you get any ideas. But have you ever gone, oh, that's nice?
I mean, it's weird, isn't it?
No. I might have gone, because I was like really busting.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
I don't even know if even when I've been really busting, I've ever actually made a noise. I think in my head I thought, oh, great.
Yeah.
I can go.
Yeah.
But I don't think I've ever gone, oh. It's just weird.
Oh. No, definitely. Definitely not. So I've got a bad line, okay? And it's an absolutely cringe-worthy line, okay? So Mel is in the kitchen quite early in the party talking to, fun enough, one of the women that steps into the hot tub.
Yes.
Okay. And it's a strange conversation because the woman looks a bit down and depressed. And she's like, I can't believe Pluto isn't a planet anymore.
Oh, yeah, I know this one.
And then Mel replies, well, I hear Uranus is pretty bare.
Yeah, then they both find it hilarious, don't they? And it's like...
And it's, I mean, oh, Jesus, God, strike me down now. It was just the worst.
And again, just not unnecessary, not funny.
But it's not even funny. I hear Uranus is pretty bare. What sort of response is that to, I can't believe Pluto isn't a planet anymore?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense either, does it? Yeah.
I mean, I have said some crap dad jokes in your presence.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
Now, first the bagpipes, now this. I don't quite know what to think anymore. Are we even friends, Emma?
Will we ever?
Will we ever? Is this just... Why are we even doing a podcast together? We clearly hate each other.
No idea. I ask myself that every day, David.
Oh, that really helps me, Emma. I don't know where that voice is coming from. But could I just please ask you this? And just be as honest as possible.
Oh God, you don't want me to be honest.
Yeah, I think I need you to be.
Okay.
Have any of my dad jokes or any of the little quips I've come away with been as bad as, in response to something like, I can't believe Pluto isn't a planet anymore, have any of them been as bad as, I hear Uranus is pretty bare? And to be honest, I don't like the pause.
No, I don't think they've been as bad as that.
Oh, thank goodness for that. I think if you'd said yes, I'd have just like, that's it, I'm giving up. I'm just actually going to become a shell.
Don't forget there's Black Forest Gâteau slices in the so there's everything to live for.
Yeah, there is everything to live for. Oh, I'm so looking forward to those. I can't believe I nearly forgot about them.
No,
you could have. I did. I nearly forgot about them. You could have not said anything, and end up having 2 slices of Black Forest Gâteau to yourself.
Yeah, isn't it?
That is greedy. Don't tell me you didn't think about it though.
Yeah. I'm so annoyed with myself now.
Yeah, what's your next bad line?
So I've got another 2. So when the dad turns up, he comes in and he sort of sees. Oh, have you got this as?
I've got this same one. Yeah, go ahead, though. Go ahead. Yeah.
He comes in and he sees like the destruction and what's going on.
Yep.
And he sees the llama's laser beam coming from the barn.
Yeah, it comes through the roof.
And he goes, "Damn kids and their laser beams."
Exactly. He's like,
what kids do you know that have got laser beams?
I mean, yeah, I get it. They might have like a laser pen or something like that. But as far as I'm aware, laser pens are not strong enough to go firing through barn roofs.
No, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, so it's just a ridiculous one. Was that your last?
That was my last bad line, yeah. Yeah, damn kids and their laser beams.
I also had one when Trent was in the barn giving birth to the eggs. Do you say that? Laying eggs?
Laying eggs?
Is it giving birth if it's eggs? It's not, is it?
Yeah, I think you just say laying it. Yeah.
Laying. When he's laying eggs in the barn and he's screaming in pain and like obviously in agony.
Yeah.
And at one point he goes, "This is not fun." You're like, no shit. You're laying giant llama eggs. Space llama eggs, sorry.
I mean, we've already discussed in this podcast how, giving birth is simple, easy.
Oh, yeah.
You just knock a child out.
People make such a fuss.
You can just knock one out one a week.
Oh,
boom, 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 boom.
yeah.
There you go. Right?
But, these women that have time off work.
Suck it up, Trent.
Yeah. You're only laying eggs. You're not even laying live young.
Yeah, live young.
Well, they're animals, aren't they?
Yeah, yeah. I suppose. Yeah, it does make sense. It just sounds weird coming like that.
Weird.
Yeah, they're not even live young.
As soon as I said it, I thought, no, that does sound weird.
But I think grammatically correct.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, this isn't fun. It just reminds me of like you need to like. Clearly, no one's written script for that. You're screaming, you're saying things.
Yeah.
Just ad-lib it. But when you don't have like the acting brains to think of something good, just don't say anything.
It's like,
don't say.
Stating the obvious is not.
This isn't fun.
This isn't fun.
Yeah.
Really? 'Cause it looks awesome.
I mean, if it'd been like, I've been to better parties.
Oh yeah, we should have said that. That would.
Oh my god, you agreed. Oh wow. But yeah. It's something, anything other than this isn't fun.
Yeah.
Oh dear. I do actually have, I think, a line about one of Trent's lines is one of the good lines for the flip side. So,
okay.
But yeah. But yeah, I don't have any more bad lines.
No, I don't.
I don't have any more bad lines. Now, this is the first time in a long time where when I've been watching the movie, I haven't actually had any other notable mentions.
Oh, okay.
Like any other, we've had something for every category.
Yes.
Funnily enough. So we haven't even needed a wild card in this one.
No, we haven't actually.
Which has been really interesting, I think. So, well done to Llamageddon for giving us something for everything.
Yes.
Here as well. So, good stuff on that. But do we want to score this movie now?
I think we should.
Okay. So, on a scale of 1 to 5, 6 being the highest...
Listen, we make our own rules here.
ain't nobody tying us down to rules. I keep doing this to you.
Yeah.
But
you always make me.
I always make you go first.
I do know what I'm going to score.
Do you want me to go first and score this one?
I know what I'm going to score it, but you can go.
You
first.
know what you're going to score it.
Just for a change.
I'm actually going to score this 4 stars out of 5.
Are you going that high?
I am.
Oh, okay.
And there's a couple of reasons for it, right?
Yeah.
It's over really quickly.
It's got bagpipes in it.
It's got...
It's over really quickly is your reason for scoring it?
No, it's a fast film. It's a fast film. Not that it's over with and, oh, thank God that's done.
Which is, we were very glad of because we actually started it gone 10 o'clock at night, which is crazy at our age.
The fact that none of us fell asleep.
Yeah.
Neither of us. It's
gone 8 o'clock, we're not starting a film now.
Yeah, exactly. But
this was gone 10 and we still were done by just after 11, so we were like, that's not bad going actually.
I know. And I was home for just after midnight
I know, crazy.
And if we were watching, imagine we were watching House Shark.
Oh, no,
when that film ended, we'd still have 40 more minutes of House Shark to watch.
I think the evening that we knew we were doing House Shark and we knew it was long, we were just like, right, hi, let's get on with it.
Yes, yeah. There were no pleasantries.
There's no chatting, there's nothing.
You had a cup of tea made for me already,
Like,
that we're getting on with this.
It's on, it's already set up. Yeah, no, that was good. I did appreciate them keeping it concise because a lot of these movies, there's a lot of going
Absolutely. We had mixed media. So we had, cartoons in there. We had actual, live action going on. We had explosions, people dying. We had buckets of blood. We had some questionable comedy.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. But this is the second time I've watched this film, and I wasn't like, I could never watch this again either. I could happily watch this again with other people. When I say that, I don't mean not you. I mean just like, I could happily show that to other people.
Yeah.
And I was talking to my kids about it as well. It's like, oh, you won't believe what happened. This happened. This happened. This guy's giving birth to llama eggs and all that sort of thing. So, yeah, I enjoyed it for a bad movie. So I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. It doesn't get a 5 out of 5 like Carousel did for me.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I think some of the humour in Carousel was much better done than this one. So, yeah, it gets a 4 out of 5. And also, it cost $3,000. It started out as a student project, and they made it a proper movie. And another thing that I really loved is when it first went onto Amazon, they were selling it for $1 million.
You told me this.
And but for the standard edition, they were selling it for $1 million. But the high definition edition, they were selling for $1,000,099.
I mean, when you said they were selling it, nobody bought it.
No, nobody bought it. But I think it's a really clever way to market it a little bit. Like,
I guess
this movie's really expensive. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And there are other bits that happen that we haven't spoken about because obviously you need to catch us on
the flip side.
Hey, there we go.
Sorry, I was just thinking, did we rent this one?
Yeah, we did rent it. Yeah,
so they are making. Well, I don't know how many times.
Well, I don't know how much money they have to make, how much money you get out of a rental on Amazon. Know. How much does Amazon take?
Unless they just give you...
We need to know this when we distribute our own movies, Emma.
Yeah, obviously. We need to cut a good deal with Amazon.
Yeah, I'll get on.
We don't just want a one-off payment.
I'll get on with Jeff Bezos and I'll have a chat. Next time we go down and visit the Titanic, I'll have a word with him.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Oh no, he does space, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Next time we visit the moon.
You can't speak to the guy that does the Titanic anymore.
No. Ooh. So I'm going to give it 4 out of 5 stars because, and also because a lot of the stuff that we spoke about, that we're going to talk about over on the Patreon. So, what are you going to score it?
So you're going to think I'm being really harsh now?
No.
I was only going to score it 2 out of 5.
Is it because of the bagpipes? Is it? You
had a point taken off because of the No, I don't know. It did have a bit of everything. We did see some good deaths, and like you say, for a budget, it was quite good because $3 grand is nothing, is it? That's not any.
Nothing at all. So
it was fairly impressive that they managed to do what they did with that money. I don't know. There was a lot. I think I marked it down low because there was a lot of bits I just didn't like. I didn't feel comfortable with watching. Sure. I just didn't like. So I think
the mouth close-ups.
Yeah, mouth close-ups and that scene with Trent laying the eggs. I was just like, what? This is not enjoyable to watch. And the jokes for me didn't land at all. Any of them. They were just more like groans than giggles. Whereas I think we had a few giggles.
I think that shows my kind of humour, doesn't it?
But I think that's why I'm marking it low.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. And some of the music really grated on me when it was just like...
Fair.
But then on the flip side, we've got some amazing music, so...
Yeah, see?
Yeah, I don't know, but I think I'm sticking with a 2 just because there was some stuff that was difficult watching. I just didn't... I don't remember that last time when we watched it. I don't remember feeling like that last time, but I definitely wasn't comfortable with it, and I was just like, what is this?
Well, I think the first time we watched it as well, we weren't watching it to review it. We weren't making notes. So if something like bagpipes passed you by, because if you'd remembered the bagpipes, you probably wouldn't have watched the film a second time. You'd be like, no,
exactly.
That's it. It's not happening.
Exactly.
So yeah, I think certain things are going to pass you by.
Yeah.
In those instances, like you completely forgot about the whole Trent thing.
Yeah, I completely
entirely.
forgot that he turned into a...
And yeah, so you must have blocked out your memory as well.
Yeah, because I said to you, didn't I wonder if we'll get any little llama babies, and you were like,
oh well, just you wait and see.
I'd totally forgotten that he turned into a llama. So yeah, maybe I did block it from my mind because it was so traumatic for me. And then you've just refreshed my memory now. So
Well,
it'll take me weeks to get that out of my mind again.
If there's nothing that I won't do for our friendship except that I won't. I'm not phrasing the sentence right, but I will happily bring back old traumas. You're welcome.
Thanks.
That's what good friends do.
Is it?
Well, probably not, but that's just what I do.
Friends, enemies is a fine line.
Frenemies, friends, but with the R in brackets, fiends.
So
I'm just going to go.
We basically just disagree completely.
Yeah.
On
Is this the largest gap in score that we've had?
Possibly, yeah.
I think it might be. It's the most polarising movie we've had.
I don't know. I remember I scored something. Did I score something 0 or 0.51? Really low one.
Oh, do you know what we should do? We should make notes of what we scored every movie.
Should we?
Well, I mean, we're not going to. We're not going. And I'll be able to correlate the tables, and I'll have a little line graph of the scores, and at the end of the year we'll have some feedback on our scoring system and see if it actually, makes any sense. I don't think it will.
I don't think anything we do makes any sense.
No, I know. It's like sometimes like there's a movie that anyone else will watch and go, "This is clearly awful," and we're like,
absolute dog shit.
4 stars. I love this film so much.
6 stars.
But come on though, Snakes on a Plane.
Snakes on a Plane. Come on, no one can. I would be shocked if anyone argued that Snakes on a Plane isn't a great movie.
Yeah,
great
fair.
bad movie.
Fair. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't. Nobody can say to me, "That's absolute dog shit." It's not.
I'm sorry. Sorry,
if
that
anyone
got
ever
me.
does, I don't know what I'm going to do about it, but
Well,
not much
just
I can do.
play bagpipes at them.
Yeah,
That's it. That's what you do.
their ears bleed.
All right. So that was Llamageddon. Look out in future for Alpacalypse. Apocalypse.
I can't get over the name of that. Apocalypse.
No, I'm just thinking of like alpacas with lips.
Lip filler.
It's actually not like a movie about the apocalypse.
It's just about glamorous alpacas.
Yeah, glamorous.
The wags.
In
the alpaca world.
in the cutthroat world of beauty salons.
Yeah.
That would be interesting. That would be very interesting. Maybe that's what the movie's about. Right. So you do come and join us on the flip side. Obviously, this was the last, the final episode in season 3. Our killer animals.
One more thing we haven't even mentioned.
Go on.
We didn't get Llama Vision.
Oh yeah, we didn't get Llama Vision. So that's just the second
2 movies we have
out of the 6 that didn't have animal vision.
What a disappointment. That's another reason to score it low.
Okay, so do I adjust my score to 3.5? No, I'm going to stay at 4.
You sure?
3.75.
Come on, let's not get silly. You can do halves, but
not quarters.
Let's not get 2 decimal.
3.98.
Because it'll mess up the spreadsheet.
Do you know the star? The 4-star looks like it's full, but there's a tiny slither just not filled in.
Okay.
That's your
if I do the
animal
spreadsheet,
vision.
it's going to a whole number.
What colour do you think the Llama Vision would have been or should have been?
Red, because they've got red blazers.
Red eyes, yeah.
So that's all they can see is red.
I was hoping you'd say that, because if you said another colour, I'd be like,
how?
Really?
Yeah.
Think about it. Just think about it. Maybe green because of the vomit, but no, definitely red had to be.
Yeah.
So if you want to hear about all the good bits of Llamageddon, come and join us over on
the flip side.
For a low price of $5 a month.
Yeah. It's nothing at all.
It's nothing at all. If you can spare it, and if you want to support the podcast, it's a great way to help us rent these movies, because we every movie seems to not be free on Prime. It's like we pay for Prime and you don't even get any simple movie for free anymore. They always seem to be rented. So it will keep us in Black Forest Gateau slices, and it will keep the movies coming as well, because we want to support the movie makers and rent them wherever we can.
The listeners care about our snacks, David.
Oh, they want us to be like comfortable.
Well, we've got to stay alive.
You've got to stay alive. Yeah, we've got to stay alive. But yeah, and so you'll have a week after this episode airs, you'll have 18 episodes of The Flip Side, and you'll have at least 3 episodes of our Bad Movies for Kids as well, which we still haven't thought up a name of. We might have thought up a proper name for by the end of this.
We probably should think up.
We really probably should think up a name.
Or is it just I See Bad Kids Movie?
I mean, it does exactly what it says on the tin, doesn't it? Yeah. Let's go with that. Print it.
Another meeting done on the podcast.
Sorted. But yeah, thanks very much for joining us. We will catch you hopefully over on the Patreon. If you do come over on the Patreon, you're going to get a shout out on the main episode. We've not had a shout out for a while, have we?
No, we've not. Actually.
No, but that's fine. You could break the duck.
Break the duck?
Like when you're batting and you don't, like cricket, and you don't get a run and you go out for a duck. I don't know cricket either, but I know that if you don't get a run, you're out for a duck.
Oh, okay.
So like if we're not having anyone sign up for a while, we're just on a bit of a duck.
Basically, please sign up.
Yeah, if you sign up, you'll get a shout out. But there's plenty of episodes. Sign up at the beginning of a month, etc. I think. Oh, I don't think you have to anymore on Patreon. Whenever you sign up, you get charged $5, 18 episodes.
Best $5 you'll ever spend.
Oh, I mean, that opens us up to being sued for false advertisement.
Does it?
I'd be very careful. It's certainly a $5 you've ever spent.
Yeah, $5 that you spent. There you go, that's better.
Yeah, that'll do. But yeah, thanks everybody. Love you all, and
Just say goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.